Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on an episode. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we did a really cool kind of factory build tied in with a lot of residential expansion out in Oracle Bay, and we have been building along the waterfront a lot recently, and we are going to continue that in today's episode with the last of the waterfront areas where we've kind of built up that hasn't actually been developed. So we're going to be doing that today and getting in another unique factory. Something else that we've been kind of doing lately is getting in a lot of unique factories. And this is the second last episode before City Skylines 2 comes out, which is just crazy. And I am happy to announce that I will have an episode out on that day, hopefully, if everything goes well. But I'm hoping to have 3 episodes that week for City Skylines 2 launch. But let's hop out and take a look at where we will be building today, because we are going to be building out by the Webster Canal. We have a bit of an area over here that we haven't developed that is along the waterfront, but we've been building it this way, so that's why I want to kind of approach this. But this is what we did last time out over here, kind of building out in this little corner. We got a tram connection in up to here. Down to the ferry port over here, but we mainly focused in this area with all these brick buildings, with all the unique factories that have the whole like brick theme to it. So the printing press, the toy factory, the food factory. We got a library, and we used the Brooklyn and Queens DLC along with the industrial DLC to get the nice kind of old industrial look to it. And I really like this. We also detailed up this creek too, which is really nice for Victoria Creek. I got the name wrong a bunch last episode. So it's Victoria Creek. That's where we'll be building. But we are going to be out over here today in Webster. Now, what is the plan for this area? Well, I'm thinking just general residential expansion, but we need a high school. So I would imagine that maybe over here was a less developed area, so they were able to put a high school in maybe the 60s or something like that. Yeah, because we have no high schools out this way. Our closest high school is the one we put in last episode, which is right here. Then we have another one right here. So I'm thinking if we get a high school right over here, we should really meet the demand of these 2 towns. And of course, unbuilt rural areas of the Beyond Zone. But then if we have time, I'm thinking we're going to start figuring out how we're going to get some trails up here. It'd be nice to kind of get those done. I know we have this little kind of inlet right here for our parking lot. Maybe we can include that just to kind of tie in this whole area together. But I also want to get a unique factory in, and that's actually where we're going to be starting today, because I was thinking about getting it in last episode, but it didn't really make the cut. And that is going to be right in here. We have this really awkward little pocket beside the high school. It's just kind of barren land, but there's an old utility road running through here where we have a few utilities in this area, along with an extra warehouse for paper. I just needed that extra those extra trucks kind of circulating nearby for these plants, because they keep running out of paper. So we're going to need to bump that up too. But I'm actually also going to get another cargo station. We're going to run a connection from here, this rail area, right through here, and we're going to get that cargo station in this pocket right here. We'll have the factory right here. So it's pretty close by. Hopefully that works out. But we do have a cargo connection here, and the factory that I'm thinking about getting is going to have a lot of plastic, and this is our oil area. So to help out with the traffic, we're going to be able to ship goods from this station over to this one, which is really close, but it might work out. All right, so we have this extra cargo station in here, which is, it's actually getting some use. But we have plastics out of this one. We have paper in this one just to get those extra trucks in. And look at this, we already have some goods being shipped in here, which is awesome. We also have just a taxi depot this way because why not? But this little bypass, I slowed it down so that we shouldn't get a majority of the traffic from this cargo station that's going to like the other parts of the city. Hopefully it should stay on the main route, and then this is just going to serve as a bypass. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But it looks like this train just arrived. Let's see where all those trucks are going, because that could be a big sign of what's to come here. So if I just click here, we should see that, yeah, I mean, a lot of the trucks are going into this area, which is good. It's helping out kind of fill that gap in service points between our train yard over here in Glade Square. Here it is. And then this one here, and then this one. So this extra cargo station might do us some good. So the factory that I wanted to get in is the household plastics factory, because it only uses up 2 resources, and 2 resources that we have really close by in this area here. Now normally it's really good to place it down pretty close to there, but in this case I was thinking that this location here is pretty cool for a factory, so I'm gonna place it kind of back in this corner here, but we're gonna put it on a bit of like a side road kind of thing. So I think what we'll do is we'll use this frontage road for this factory, and we'll just use just a basic road, probably this one, and right about here, yeah, right about here, we'll just kind of get a bit of a road out like that, and then we'll just flip it around. Fantastic. And then I'm just going to place down the factory itself, and then building on, oh, there we go, okay. And then we can kind of manipulate it around however we want. And we need to look at the building itself to see if there's anything that's needed, because there is a door right there. So we need to make sure that we incorporate that into the build. This is all fenced off over here. Okay, so I'm thinking if we can probably get it situated something like this, that would be really cool. So we could even just continue this road straight, and then maybe have a bit of a diversion off for some support infrastructure. So I think if we just kind of leave it like that, that's pretty cool. Let's get it to the same height as this road here. And then what we'll do is we'll just grab a basic road. I think we don't need an industry road necessarily, but we'll use one without any parking on it. And we'll just continue straight just like that. And I think we'll get the parking lot for the building over here, I guess. That makes sense. Then we have that door right there, so we got to include that. And then we'll just get some support infrastructure off of here. So I'll just bring that out like that, because we need some warehouses. So we are importing plastics over into here, which is unbalanced, but I think we should be making enough for what we need here. So I'm just going to go to the warehouses and then get warehouses for petroleum and plastics. All right, so here we go. We have the household plastics factory, something really quick and simple. Hopefully this should make us just that extra little bit of cash. But over here we have that doorway there. So we have a path that connects out to this pedestrian zone, but also a path that runs behind the building to connect to the parking lot. We also have this path that runs into our park. So I think there is a good connection point there. So all these trucks are going to be shipping their goods in and out from here. Now there is a level crossing, so that can slow down the traffic, but this isn't too busy of a zone, especially since we're diverting some of the cargo trains out to here. We should be good. There is a passenger rail that shares this line though, that runs right into here. So there will be that consistent kind of flow of traffic. But I think just that little addition is really good. Just kind of adds a bit more out this way, which I enjoy. So now that we got that in place, kind of building out in this zone again, I think it's time to talk about this. So when it comes to this area, I don't think I want to continue with the same kind of theme with the key walls and stuff like that. I think we're going to save that for that more built up zone. I'm thinking this is a bit more of a an area where there's just a road, like a frontage road, and then it's beach. Looking at the terrain through here, it's very gradual, right? So I think we can safely say that if we get a frontage road, I don't think we really need to worry about the flooding of the area or anything like that. So we'll get a couple houses along here, but I would like to try and figure out how to get a road up here so it's not just a big cul-de-sac. Maybe we can cul-de-sac some of it, but if we could get like a road up in this kind of zone, that would be good as well. Just so it's not just one major cul-de-sac from here, that would probably be good. So I think we're going to start off with this side, and then we'll get that high school in like I talked about, because that's going to lead into further expansion out this way. We got to incorporate the Webster Canal path through here, and I think maybe this path we could easily just kind of continue along into the waterfront here. So let's take out some of these trees, if not pretty much all of them, just so we can kind of see where we're building. That would be really convenient, but I don't want to change the terrain too much. That I would rather just leave as is. So let's, oh, there's some dead trees over there. Might need to take these out really quickly because they tend to, I tend to miss them. So it would be nice to not miss them. All right, so we have just this basic little road. Right now we're using it as a bus turnaround, but this is also a marker of our grid. So we gotta make sure that we respect that grid, and we'll bring that down a little bit. Let's turn on our guidelines so we can kind of see how the terrain's working. All right, so if we just were to bring it down straight, we should be pretty good for maintaining any semblance of a grid. I think if we bring it down to about here, arbitrarily, really, it doesn't really matter, maybe one node down, so we have an even 20 units, and then that is 25 units total for this road. And then from that point, if we can then curve it and create our little frontage road, I'm going to leave a bit of that light green color around here. Oh, I don't think that rock's going to get deleted. No, got to delete that rock. Might as well delete this one too. And if we just do this all the way through, we should be good. All right, so right in this kind of zone here, I'm going to try and see if we can sneak a road up. It would be really nice if we could. It's really steep though. So I think the further we go in this direction to the left, the better. So maybe if we can go from about here and then we curve up really, like we take a little while along this this cliff face, it should kind of help slope things out a little bit. So if we were to then say that is at terrain height pretty much, okay, very good. We'll go to our network multi-tool and we'll slope it from about here to here. We'll see what the grade is. 14.2%. Okay, that'll definitely be a warning sign on this road when you're using it. Oh, wow, that is a little too steep. Okay, so we might need to lower this node down at least. Okay, that's a lot better of a slope. So if we can then grab this, we could actually connect it up to this road. I don't really mind doing that, but I think we could get some sort of extra residential in here. So I think just for now, what I'm going to do is just bring it out to about here and then leave it, because I think when we're talking about the road planning, I want to get a road that runs from this area here up through here, and then maybe even bringing it out along the coast of this mountain to this little pocket where we could get like some sort of staging ground for some hiking. That would be really cool. If we could do that, because I don't think it'll be able to be done from this shoreline here, but I'm thinking up here we could definitely get it to work. So I wouldn't mind having some sort of extra road running through here, maybe right about there. That would be cool. If we can just kind of follow this road, doesn't need to be the same pattern, and we can just kind of maybe bring it to about here, curve it around, and then swing it out like that. That should be good. And then from this point, we can bring this one in and connect up with our grid. But we should probably be able to get one sort of connection here, and it might as well be with this road, right? So let's just bring this straight in like that, and then right in like that. That should be good. It's a little close to this other road, but I don't think we should have too much traffic here. Yeah, we could get it right here, but it's pretty close to the end of the tunnel. I'd rather that continue all the way down to this point here. So I think what we need to do is improve the width of this little teeny connection point. So we'll go with a 4-unit road, and I don't mind having a median here. So let's go with one with trees. How about that? We'll make things a little bit nicer here. Just like that. One singular tree. That's good. And then I suppose we don't really necessarily need this to be 6 lanes or anything like that. So I think we could probably just get away with something like that through here. So let's maybe add this singular tree to be a pine tree. That would be cool. All right, very cool indeed. Let's remove the zoning through here because I'd rather not have any zoning on this road, and we'll get all the zoning off of this kind of frontage road instead. And then if we have the space, we should probably add a few little cul-de-sacs. I'm going to use the road with parking here because this is a bit more residential kind of area, and we'll just get a few little teeny cul-de-sacs like that. I also don't think we're going to get zoning right here, so I think we could probably get away with, yeah, there we go. That added just a bit more zoning there. And then maybe not right there either, so we can get focused zoning on the cul-de-sac. Then we could probably get another 1 or 2 throughout our little journey here, just like right here, for example. That would be really cool. Looks like the zoning adjusted pretty well there. And then maybe even kind of out this way a little bit, just to kind of really add in those extra bits of zoning. All right, so we're still talking about the road layout for right now. And at this point, I'm thinking we just kind of follow the terrain line a little bit, just like we've been doing. And then right there is where we'll get our little connection point to our trail and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of a parking lot there or something like that. But we should probably think about making sure that our grid is all good and dandy. And we'll start using the parking roads on this side. So let's go with 4 units out from here, or maybe a bit larger. All right, so the road layout is complete now, and I think this is pretty darn cool layout here. So we have this kind of centralized park area in the middle with these rocks. I think it's pretty easy just to make into a little bit of a park. But we have the maybe the old road or something like that, the new road coming in through the tunnel, and some improved roads, including my favorite road with bus lanes, which is awesome, since this is definitely going to be like a bus area. So I definitely think this is a good idea. We'll probably get the bus down to about here, and it'll probably just loop around or something like that. Nothing too fancy, just a simple little bus. Why don't we actually just do that right now? Because this pink bus runs right into the ferry, and then it goes to Plattsburgh Station. So it comes from Webster over to here to the ferry, and then it goes up to Plattsburgh Station, to the ferry, and back. So this is a pretty simple little route that it has, but the pathfinding is a little frustrating. So I'm really excited about that aspect to it when City Skylines 2 comes in, because it's really cool that we can kind of just choose where it goes. So like right here, I removed this. Oh, that's good. Last time I did that, it just did a whole dipsy doodle kind of thing. So just something simple like this, I think, is all that's really needed. It is low density, so I think we're pretty good here. So let's make this area a district. It's actually probably going to be 2 districts. So we'll get kind of this centralized zone to be an older type of zoning, and then we'll somewhere along the line we'll get some newer zoning in through here. Probably something like that will be the old area, and then this will be the new kind of zoning. All right, so we got Webster and Upper Webster. Webster has European suburbia, and Upper Webster is going to have the Green Cities zoning. I think that'll be a really good addition up in here. But then in the commercial area for both of them, I don't know if we're going to get any commercial in Upper Webster, but just in case we do, we're going to have organic and local produce in here. And then in case there's any warehouses or industry that's going to go in here, it's going to be forestry, just because I really like the warehouse kind of look. Oh, and actually, you know what? I realized this district of Webster is going to continue out over into here. Forgot to include that because we're going to expand that in a little bit. So I'm hoping that this kind of will end up looking like its own little kind of unique little town or development that spawned up probably early on with Prattsburg. It is on like a similar style grid, like a 45-degree angle difference based off of the old bridge here. And then we have this connection point where we just need to clean up the turning lanes here. There we go, which should be good. Maybe we can regrade kind of this intersection a little bit where I can pull this out a little bit further like that. That's pretty good. And then if we just bring this one up a little bit more and then this one down a little bit, we should be pretty good here, just so it looks like the zoning the road was developed a certain way, like with taking certain sides of the land. Something I noticed in the CS2 videos is that you can choose which side of the road you want to upgrade if you want to improve the road layout. And why are the cars turning around like this? This is not good. They're all turning here, it seems like, and then going around. All right, let's fix this. All right, so I just adjusted the speed limits. Hopefully that changes things a little bit, and you know, the cars actually go the right direction. So, oh, forgot, didn't clean this one up properly either. Oh my goodness, all over the place today. And then we probably don't need lights everywhere either. This one probably doesn't need to be a light. This one is not a light. That's good, but we can get a yield sign over here. Very good. Very good. Fantastic. And then that's a light. That's perfectly fine with me. Alrighty. So now it's time to kind of zone up, I guess. So I think we'll get a bit of commercial along the main street. But actually, sorry, I took zoning off of the main street here because I was thinking that the limited commercial could be kind of just in this little pocket here. All right, so I'm just adding in a bit of the zoning in here. I readjusted some things. It looks like this one's actually all complete now. It wasn't before. So yeah, just a mix of zoning, just maybe getting in some of these smaller commercial buildings in besides some of the residential. And I was starting to zone up the residential and I realized I should probably talk during this part. So yeah, I think maybe we just get a couple of these larger houses. So you notice how I only went 3 deep on this side, but this side I'm doing 4. Just helps change things up a little bit. Might go back down to 3 through here. And I'm thinking we'll get some walking paths around here, so I don't want to do too much. And then maybe something like that. Yeah, like that through here. That's probably good. All right. So through this side, I'm just going to keep the zoning pretty simple. And actually this, so I took zoning off of this whole road. Okay, so I got to remember that when I'm zoning through here. And I would like it if the priority was on the other road. There we go. That's very good. And this way we can have some larger houses through here. And then I think we can just pretty much zone in this whole block through here. Remove some of these trees, please. And hopefully this should also help eat into our demand. which is pretty significant. So that would be nice. And yeah, I think that should be good. Let's see. I think if we do something like that, it should be nicer. And then this whole block can be residential as well. And we don't have any schools in this area. I think they're all going to be on the other side. Just it's a little too tight in this kind of pocket here. Do we have any elementary schools out this way nearby, like over here? I don't think we do. No, so yeah, we'll definitely need to get an elementary school out over here. We could probably squeeze one in, to be honest. Like right in this little pocket or something like that. But it's just so steep that it's a bit awkward of a spot. We could actually get it right over here, though. All right, very good. I'm not going to get any zoning on this side. It doesn't really make sense if we're going to make this a bit of a walking path area. It's a bit too tight of a zone. We might not even get any zoning on this street at all then, which might just be easier just to clean up entirely like that. Yep, very good. All right, so I think we can just kind of continue with the zoning. I'm not going to get any zoning again on this side. We'll make that a bit of more of like a park kind of theme to it. But I think it's time to look at the paths. So this path in particular will probably be a very maintained path. We'll use the zoo path with decorations, and we'll just bring this one down on a slight curve, just like that. Yeah, very cool. Alrighty, just clean this up by bringing it right to the road itself. And then this way we can know where we're going to have zoning and where we're not going to have zoning. So I'm actually just going to change the priority on this road again. Actually, you know what? I think it's fine if we just have maybe some smaller houses here. That would be interesting at least. Change up the pace a little bit. Alright. And then now I think we'll do this park, which is going to be very, very simple. All right, so just a quick, simple little park. Didn't want to force anything, so I don't think it's going to level up beyond level 1, but that is okay with me. We have a cool little lookout here, so if we were to kind of go into the lookout, we get to see Oracle Bay here, and that's really, really cool. Cool view there, that's for sure. But yeah, I think this is coming along pretty good. I like how the commercial's looking through here. So I think we're pretty much set to continue expanding out this way. All right, so we're getting the zoning in through here, and I'm thinking what we need to do is just add in a few of these tiny parks in these kind of areas just to help the zoning out. I did put a fence in along here so that it looks like a bit more protected from the main highway here. But man, look at the view. Holy cow, these houses would be so expensive. so it's also really close to downtown if you think about it, because it's just the tunnel, and then you're like right downtown. So alrighty. Let's get some of those tiny parks in. They're very, very useful, just for like beefing up that zoning a little bit, or the beefing up like the land value a little bit. So I'm just gonna get 2 right in here. I don't mind the pond, but how about we add in, say, the gazebo as the other one? We don't need 2 ponds back to back like that. That's pretty cool. I mean, it would probably make sense that there would be some water being collected in this area anyways, right? So let's continue with the zoning through here, because we could get one right in here, very sneaky. But that's going to really improve the value. Little community garden, why not? How about over here? We could probably squeeze one in right there. Very cool. That's a little pond. How about we go with the gazebo again? Because I think the gazebo makes a ton of sense for these kind of areas. And then let's go down to this side of things, and we could get one right there. And yeah, why not? We can leave that one there. That's pretty cool. And then tiny park again. How about... Oh, we could actually squeeze one in right here. We'd have to remove that house though, but that's okay. And then this one could be a gazebo, because I think the gazebo is the most realistic one of the bunch. And then right here we could probably get some sort of community garden. How about that? Very cool. We'll just move it up the hill a little bit and turn it just so it's a little bit more realistic. Once it levels out here, holy cow, there we go. Very cool. And then we can fill in the area with some trees now that things have started to really fill in. All right, so I think we're gonna have a bit of trouble right at the end here. So I'm thinking we could probably utilize one of those tiny parks right at the end of the road here, and we could probably get it to look somewhat realistic here. So if we just plop it down right there, and you know what, that one's actually pretty good. It would make sense that there'd be a little bit of a seating area right at the end of this. So we could probably just do that, and then hopefully that should improve things. Yeah, look at that. We already got the house getting built up right there. Very, very cool. So what's going to happen in this kind of area? Well, I'm thinking we'll probably just zone it up in a similar sense to how we've been doing marshes lately with the creeks and whatnot. So I'm probably just save that for the end because we have a lot left to do. There's a bit of a gap in zoning here. What can we do about that? We have a park right there and right there. It's probably just in the middle of things. I think we're probably good. So we'll save that for the end, but I'm really liking how this is coming along. But we got to think about the high school now, because we talked about this already. Got to get the high school in here. We're going to run this road, continue through here as kind of the main street. And I really like this road for it. I think the dedicated bus road is pretty cool. So if we were to, see the topography here, we're on a bit of a hill. That's okay. I think if we just make sure that we actually are maintaining a straight road through here, we can continue our grid. We can probably go to about here before we need to start thinking about changing things up a little bit. So I'm actually going to make this whole road the same height as this node here, because it didn't seem like it was that drastic of terrain change. Yeah, no, we're pretty good there. So I'm just going to clean up the terrain a little bit and then expand the grid. The high school is going right in here. All right, so we have the high school campus through here, and I really like this one. This one is really cool. We have kind of like these little restaurant areas and whatnot with the Green Cities commercial, and this one's really cool. I like that. So I'm going to make all these historical, but the high school looks really good. I like how things have lined up. We got the paths in here, and I like the slight overlap that we have with the soccer field, the community soccer field. I think this is pretty good for the community. It's like the high school's kind of field, but also for the community. So I think this is pretty darn cool. So let's make all these historical, and then we'll move into the residential portion of the build. All right, so we have everything kind of cleaned up now. We have our connection point into the main highway here, which I don't know if we're going to get any further connection points on this stretch of road. So we're just going to fill out this grid now, and we'll get a connection point right there, though. And I think we can run the grid kind of connecting off of that, and then we'll fill it up with residential. All right, so it is still developing, but I think that this area looks really cool. And if we zoom out here, yeah, this looks like a great expansion of this area kind of as a whole. I think the blending of the zoning too works with the European suburbia through here. Kind of the continuity between the two sides of the Webster Canal really, really works. So I think this is pretty much what we needed in here. I don't really think we need anything else. I like the forested areas right in the corner of this intersection here. That'll definitely help, with the sound and whatnot. The noise pollution, that's the word. And I really like how this whole intersection has kind of played out through here, and then including this country road that we've just barely improved, really. And we even have a little pedestrian connection right there too, which is pretty nice. But I think we need to blend in the park area now down through the water. Just nothing fancy, just the path really, just to show that people do use it. But I think we'll get a connection point here with this little... Oh, this changed. This was something else before. All right. Well, yeah, so we'll just get a connection point down into here just to kind of continue the park, just to make it seem like it's not just abruptly ending. So let's bring this out straight to about here, just kind of following what we were doing. And then we'll just curve it ever so slightly. Let's go into this view here. That's a bit better of a view for you, isn't it? And then we'll just swing this out through here and very simply just kind of ending right there. I think this is the one with the lights on it. Okay, I don't want the lights on this whole path, but I think maybe to about maybe right back down to where we have our connection point with this road, we can get the lights, but then we'll have no lights on this path through here. I think that makes a lot more sense than having lights on this whole path. And I think we just got to clean up the look a little bit. So I think this is kind of what we're going to be doing for the other part of the shoreline too, just kind of getting some, sorry for those trees, just getting some of these grasses in here, just to show that, water settles in here and plants are growing throughout this area. But I think this is pretty darn cool. So we're going to bring that theme all the way through here, and then we'll look at getting in some roads up into the mountain. All right, so here we go. We have this all detailed up, and I think it looks pretty darn cool. Let's recap a little bit from what I did here because it's pretty cool. It's one of the European bridges that we got from the Bridges and Piers DLC, just to make it seem like it's a bit more of a boardwalk, but I blended it in with some brown tiles because it was just like some concrete kind of thing. And it looks like we're getting some drainage issues. We're gonna need to fix that really quickly. I think we should be able to fix that by literally just lifting this up. Oh, maybe not. Okay, we'll just need to do a bit of terrain work, and we'll just grab that height and just fill that out really quickly. Okay, very good. We'll have some flooding every now and then, but yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Kind of like farmers market vibes along the waterfront here. I think that's kind of what I was going for with the style, and then particularly right through here too, along the waterfront, will be very nice, right? All right, so I think that is it for Webster. Now we need to figure out how we're going to get a road up through here. So I think pretty much what I'll do is I'll just grab this road and we'll just kind of follow the terrain pretty much until we get to where we need to be. And we're using the road with no parking. That is probably our best bet, though we could probably go down to a rural road, like one of these rural highways. I think we could probably do that, yeah. All right, so we got to this little kind of platform area over here, which was the goal. And is it too steep running through here? Yeah, it is pretty steep. So we're gonna need to clean this part up first. Let's start with that. And then we'll go from here just to slope it to there. Whoop, that's not the sloping tool. This is the sloping tool, there we go. Just to these ones right here, just to slope that out. 5% is really good. Then we'll swing through here. It's pretty good. I think I might need to bump this out just a little bit. 2.9%, that's very good. Okay, coming through here, we're pretty good, pretty solid all the way through. And then I think we're just gonna slope it from about here right in, just to make sure that it's all smooth. 6.8% is fine. Okay, so with that in mind, now we can zone up a little bit more through here. Nothing too crazy though. Just because I want to seem like it's kind of tapering out a little bit, the zoning. Nothing too crazy, but we'll go to about here. We could even get another one of these little cul-de-sacs right through here, and then in that case we're gonna need to change up the road we just zoned, but that's okay. All right, so that is fantastic. What a view from up here too of of the whole area. That is awesome. I'm really liking this town and its incorporation with the rest of the build. But we got out to this point here, and I think we're going to save, yeah, I think we're going to save this for a larger kind of build in the future. I like doing these kind of things in live streams because they're pretty fun to talk about. So yeah, we've got this road out here. I think that's pretty good. And then we have our other road over here. So we can just kind of detail this up whenever now. So I think that is great. But we have one more episode to do before the start of City Skylines 2. And at the moment, I don't plan on abandoning City Skylines 1 altogether. But there will definitely be a large period of time where we're just playing City Skylines 2, getting used to things, getting a full city in. But I am definitely going to miss this city, so I want to make sure that we come back to it at some point, because I'm not done with this city. We're not done with you yet, Oracle Valley. Look at this. The downtown is barely built out. Like, come on. We've just got the campus through here. We have the downtown, but look at all the expansion potential that we have over here. But that is it for this one, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a ton of fun building out Webster, and we got this cute little residential community, improving the high school issues throughout the city. And look at this, we're already pretty much at max. I'm gonna need to do some water additions later on, but yeah, this is crazy. I really like this town. I really like how this looks through here with the bridge and whatnot. Oh, bad time for an autosave. This is just a really, really cool little community that we've built. So that is it for this one, folks. I'm really glad with this, how this turned out, and I'm looking forward to Friday's episode, where this will be the last one before City Skylines 2. Holy moly, let's find a cool viewpoint for this build. I think this is a pretty cool view. So I hope you have a good one. Talk to you soon. Peace out.